Picture yourself trading the daily grind for a hammock strung between two palm trees, a cool drink in hand, and nothing but turquoise water stretching to the horizon. That is exactly what Fiji delivers, and when you strip away the noise of family-friendly water parks and pick a resort that caters only to grown-ups, the experience shifts into something even more magical. Today's tour walks through 7 of the finest adults-only all-inclusive resorts scattered across the Fijian islands, from tiny private atolls to lush volcanic hideaways. Each one has its own personality, its own price tag, and its own way of making couples, honeymooners, and solo travelers feel like they have finally escaped everything. So settle in and let's explore where romance, relaxation, and reef life come together in the South Pacific. The first stop is Turtle Island, a legendary private paradise in the Yasawa chain that has been welcoming couples since the 1980s. This place became famous partly because it served as the filming location for the movie Blue Lagoon, and once you see the powdery beaches and impossibly blue water, you understand why Hollywood came calling. The whole island only hosts 14 couples at a time, which means the ratio of staff to guests is almost comically generous and the sense of privacy is unmatched. Everything is designed around slowing down, disconnecting, and reconnecting with your partner, which is why it draws honeymooners and anniversary travelers by the planeful. The vibe is barefoot luxury rather than glossy 5-star polish, and that laid-back authenticity is exactly what regulars come back for. Guests stay in traditional-style thatched burrs spread out along the coast, each one crafted from local timber and positioned to give sweeping ocean views. The burrs are spacious, with king beds, indoor and outdoor showers, and private decks where couples can sip morning coffee while listening to the waves. Instead of televisions and buzzing gadgets, the rooms lean into simplicity, encouraging you to trade screen time for beach time. Some burrs come with private plunge pools or elevated locations that catch the trade winds, and staff quietly refresh the space so it always feels immaculate. The overall design feels like a love letter to the islands rather than a copy-paste luxury template. Meals are a highlight because dining is genuinely inclusive here, meaning practically everything from lobster to fine wines to specialty cocktails is covered in the rate. Couples can request private beach dinners on their own stretch of sand, mountaintop lunches, or long communal feasts with fellow guests under the stars. The kitchen leans heavily on produce from the resort's own gardens and seafood pulled straight from the surrounding reef, so the flavors feel fresh and rooted in place. Activities such as horseback rides on the beach, snorkeling in the Blue Lagoon, guided reef fishing, and traditional Fijian ceremonies are all part of the package. For couples who want a small, intimate, once-in-a-lifetime hideaway, Turtle Island sets an incredibly high bar. Moving from that private island experience to something equally exclusive but with a different flavor, the next stop is Royal Davui Island Resort, tucked into the Beqa Lagoon south of Viti Levu. This tiny 10-acre island holds just 16 villas, and it markets itself firmly as an adults-only escape for couples who want a boutique luxury feel without the sprawl of a mega-resort. The whole place has a hushed, romantic energy, with rustling palms, dramatic volcanic outcrops, and a lagoon that glows a startling shade of blue on sunny days. It sits within easy reach of the mainland by boat, which makes getting there simpler than a Yasawa flight, yet still delivers that castaway magic once you arrive. It is the kind of resort where you can literally walk the entire perimeter in about 20 minutes and know every staff member by name by day 2. The villas are called vales, and they are perched on stilts along the hillsides and shore, with plunge pools, louvered windows that catch the breeze, and expansive decks for lounging. Interiors mix polished timber with white linens and soft island decor, keeping the aesthetic breezy rather than overdesigned. Higher-tier vales offer stunning elevated views over the lagoon, and the top-of-the-line option comes with a large private pool and generous outdoor living space. Bathrooms tend to be resort-worthy on their own, with rain showers, soaking tubs, and thoughtful little touches like local bath products. Because the resort is so small, every villa feels private, with clever landscaping ensuring you rarely see your neighbors. Dining revolves around the Banyan restaurant, where seasonal menus lean on Pacific-inspired dishes, fresh reef fish, and fruits grown around the islands. The inclusive package covers meals, snacks, and a strong selection of drinks, and couples can arrange private dinners on the sandbank that appears at low tide, which is a bucket list moment. Activities focus on the water, with snorkeling, kayaking, paddleboarding, and access to the famous Blue Lagoon diving right off the resort's boats. The spa sits in a peaceful corner of the island and offers massages, facials, and couples treatments using local coconut and frangipani products. For couples who want an intimate boutique luxury feel closer to the main island, Royal Davui delivers the kind of dreamy quiet that money genuinely can buy. Next up is Tokoriki Island Resort in the Mamanuca group, another adults-only favorite that has built a strong reputation for romance without the eye-watering price of a private island stay. It is a mid-sized property with around 36 burrs and villas, giving it a slightly more social feel than the ultra-boutique places while still keeping crowds non-existent. Design-wise, the resort blends contemporary lines with traditional thatched roofs, and everything faces west, meaning you get spectacular sunsets almost every night. The clientele skews toward couples in their 30s, 40s, and 50s who want polish and comfort without stiff formality. Regulars often mention how the staff remember names, drinks, and dietary quirks by the second day, which turns first-timers into repeat guests. Accommodations range from beachfront burrs with outdoor showers to sunset pool villas with private plunge pools just steps from the sand. Every unit is spacious, air-conditioned, and dressed in soft neutral tones that let the ocean views do the talking. Beds are king-sized and comfortable, and the little details like turn-down service, fresh flowers, and thoughtful welcome touches make the whole experience feel curated. The pool villas in particular are popular for honeymoons because they give couples a completely private outdoor retreat within their own burr. Nothing feels dated or worn, which is impressive given how often oceanfront resorts battle salt air and humidity. The dining offering is one of Tokoriki's strong suits, with the inclusive package generally covering meals at the two main restaurants, snacks, and a wide selection of beverages. Menus lean into international favorites alongside Fijian and Pacific Rim dishes, and there is a heavy emphasis on fresh seafood, tropical fruits, and locally grown vegetables. Couples can book private dining experiences on the beach, complete with tiki torches and personalized menus for special occasions. The infinity pool is a scenic centerpiece, and activities include snorkeling trips, sunset cruises, cultural performances, and guided visits to nearby reefs. With a well-regarded spa perched among the trees and a genuine adults-only calm, Tokoriki hits a sweet spot for couples who want luxury without exclusivity that borders on isolation. Shifting gears to something more diver-focused, the next contender is Namale Resort and Spa on Vanua Levu, Fiji's second-largest island. This place is owned by motivational speaker Anthony Robbins, and while that fact often surprises first-time visitors, the resort itself stands entirely on its own merits. It sprawls across 525 acres of lush tropical land, blending rainforest, blowholes, coastal cliffs, and stretches of quiet beach into one dramatic setting. It is strictly adults only, and the atmosphere leans toward wellness, adventure, and personal reset rather than pure lounging. Guests here tend to be professionals looking to unplug hard, and the resort's isolation on Vanua Levu helps make that possible. Burrs and villas are scattered widely across the property, giving each one a serious sense of privacy, with some units offering ocean views and others tucked among the trees. Interiors are richly appointed with heavy timber, plush bedding, and full amenities including espresso machines, entertainment systems, and generous bathrooms. The larger villas come with private pools, hot tubs, and even outdoor daybeds designed for stargazing. Some accommodations have been designed with couples in mind who want serious pampering, with butler service and private chef options available. Overall, the style leans more upscale lodge than beach shack, which suits the resort's reputation as a luxury retreat. Dining is a highlight because Namale operates as fully inclusive, covering all meals, snacks, and drinks including premium selections and wines. The menus rotate constantly, blending Pacific flavors with international fine dining, and couples can request meals delivered to their villa, private beach dinners, or even meals in the resort's dramatic dining spaces. The spa is genuinely one of the standouts in the entire South Pacific, offering multi-hour ritual packages, couples treatments, and traditional Fijian bobo massages. Beyond the spa, guests can play on the private golf course, use the bowling alley, hike waterfalls, dive the famed Rainbow Reef, or take part in yoga and meditation. For travelers who want luxury layered with genuine variety of things to do, Namale is a compelling pick. The tour now heads to Kokomo Private Island, a property that has quickly become one of the most talked about luxury retreats in Fiji since opening in the Kadavu island group. Now here is where honesty matters. Kokomo is not strictly adults only, and it does welcome families in some seasons, but it also runs adults only periods, and its overall vibe skews strongly toward couples and mature travelers seeking privacy. Because it comes up in almost every conversation about romantic Fiji stays, it deserves a mention with that context clearly noted. The resort sits near the Great Astrolabe Reef, one of the largest barrier reefs on Earth, making it a magnet for divers, snorkelers, and anyone who loves marine life. Design-wise, it is easily the most contemporary of the resorts featured here, with sleek modern architecture blending into the tropical landscape. Accommodations include beachfront villas and hilltop residences, each with private infinity pools, huge decks, and interiors that feel more like a design magazine spread than a typical island hut. The villas are enormous, with multiple bedrooms available for those who want to travel with another couple or bring a private chef and butler along. Every detail, from the linens to the artwork to the beachside daybeds, has been curated with luxury in mind. Some residences perch dramatically on the ridge, offering panoramic views that stretch across the reef and out to distant islands. The scale of privacy here is remarkable, with plenty of villas offering their own stretch of coastline. Dining is genuinely world-class, with multiple restaurants offering Japanese-inspired menus, Mediterranean flavors, and Pacific specialties, and the resort grows an impressive amount of produce in its extensive organic gardens. The wellness center is another draw, with expansive treatment rooms, yoga sessions, and holistic programs led by visiting practitioners. Guests can explore manta ray encounters in season, dive the reef, sail on the resort's yacht, or simply enjoy the beach and pool. For couples who want the most polished, design-forward luxury experience Fiji currently offers, Kokomo is hard to top, provided you book during its adults-focused windows. The next resort brings the mood back to intimate simplicity. Mamanuca Private Island Resort, a horseshoe-shaped volcanic island near Davui in the north. This adults-only property sits on a family-owned island and has an incredibly loyal following of couples who return year after year for its unique blend of romance and adventure. The setting is spectacular, with a caldera bay, coral reefs right off the beach, and lush jungle interior full of tropical birds. Only a small number of burrs and treehouses dot the shoreline, keeping the guest count low and the atmosphere quiet. It is the kind of place where you can spend a whole afternoon on the sand without seeing another soul. The signature accommodations here are the treehouse burrs, elevated among the branches and offering big open-air living spaces with soaking tubs, hammocks, and views straight into the canopy. There are also beachfront burrs for guests who prefer sand under their toes, and every unit is thoughtfully designed to feel private and romantic. Interiors mix traditional Fijian craftsmanship with modern comforts like king beds, quality linens, and beautiful bathrooms. The design intentionally avoids televisions and unnecessary tech, encouraging guests to unplug fully during their stay. Little details like fresh flowers, handwritten notes, and coconut welcome drinks reinforce the personal feel. Meals are served in the main dining pavilion overlooking the water, with the inclusive package covering breakfast, lunch, dinner, and afternoon tea, plus most beverages. The kitchen focuses on fresh seafood, garden vegetables, and Fijian-influenced menus that change nightly to keep things interesting. Couples can also arrange picnics on the private horseshoe bay, which is only accessible by boat and often reserved for just one couple at a time. Diving and snorkeling are major draws given the proximity to the Rainbow Reef and Samasomo Strait, and the resort has its own dive operation. Add in a small spa, guided cultural experiences, and warm island hospitality, and Mamanuca becomes a strong option for couples who want authentic Fiji at a boutique scale. The final resort on this tour is Kokomo Island Resort, positioned in the Mamanuca group with easy access from Nadi. Kokomo runs as a couples and families property overall, but it has designated adult-only zones and dedicated packages aimed at couples, which is why it sneaks into the conversation. If you specifically request adult-focused villas and dining areas, the experience can feel very much like an adults-only stay while still giving flexibility. The island itself is stunning, with a mile-long white sand beach on one side and rugged volcanic terrain rising in the middle. It is well-established, well-run, and easy to reach, which makes it an accessible pick for travelers nervous about long transfers. Villas are spacious and dressed in a fresh, contemporary style with generous outdoor space, plunge pools in higher categories, and views over either the beach or the lagoon. The residences at the top end are enormous, with multiple bedrooms, private pools, and dedicated staff, giving them a genuine luxury feel. Beds are plush, air conditioning is reliable, and bathrooms include indoor and outdoor shower options that emphasize the tropical setting. Public spaces around the resort feel polished but relaxed, and the beachfront has an enviable stretch of soft sand that never feels crowded. Landscaping around the villas ensures privacy even when the resort is at capacity. Dining is one of Vomo's strengths, with multiple restaurants, an inclusive food and drink package, and specialty experiences like beach dinners and hilltop meals with sweeping views. Menus range from casual poolside bites to fine dining with wine pairings, and the kitchen is known for its high standards. The pool area is expansive, the beach offers full water sports access, and the resort has a 9-hole pitch-and-putt golf course tucked into the interior. The spa provides a full menu of treatments in a serene setting, and yoga sessions round out the wellness offering. For couples who want ease of access, resort-scale amenities, and the option to book an adults-focused package without committing to an entirely couples-only property, Vomo is a smart middle-ground choice. Looking across all 7 resorts, a few clear pictures emerge for different kinds of travelers. Couples who want an intimate, castaway honeymoon vibe should look at Turtle Island, Royal Davui, or Matangi, all of which trade scale for genuine seclusion. Travelers chasing design-forward luxury with polished spa and dining programs will find Kokomo and Namale the most impressive, though at premium price points. Tokoriki hits a lovely sweet spot for couples who want strict adults-only rules with a slightly more social atmosphere and easier logistics. Vomo is the flexible pick for guests who want resort-style amenities and adult-focused packages without full island isolation. And if diving or wellness sits at the top of your wish list, Namale and Matangi both deliver in ways the flashier resorts cannot quite match. Whichever one calls to you, Fiji has a way of making adult travelers feel genuinely welcomed, cared for, and gently reminded that slowing down is not laziness but medicine. Thanks for coming along on this tour of the islands, and if it sparked a daydream or two, that is exactly what these places were built for. Safe travels, sweet planning, and here is to that hammock waiting somewhere between 2 palm trees. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more travel content. Check the description for links and booking information for all hotels featured in this video. If none of these felt quite right, check out our other hotel top lists to find your perfect match.